A stone lintel rests over the front door of a 3-story brick Italianate building. It reads, "The American Printing House for the Blind, erected by the state of Kentucky, 1883." The lintel appears on the lawn of APH's 4-story brick Bauhaus building. Today's sign welcomes visitors in print and braille. APH presents the Sensory Learning Kit Routines.
A hair routine with Freddy and Ms. Prey. December. Establishing baseline. Exploration level. Off-camera, Freddy's teacher, Wendy Prey, and vision consultant, Millie Smith, observe him in an adapted play environment. Freddy sits on a beanbag and plays with hanging objects. Freddy has visual and auditory impairments. Through this observation, his teacher assesses his present or baseline level of sensory motor stage performance at the exploration level. February. Hair routine. Exploration. Freddy learns to identify unfamiliar objects. Freddy chooses his hair routine symbol on his iPad, registered trademark.
Brush.
You want a brush? Let's brush your hair.
Ms. Prey presents Freddy with his hair routine box.
Look, I've got your water. I've got your water. Can you help me?
After she taps the bottle to the table and gives Freddy elbow support, he grasps the spray bottle. Ms. Prey sprays water into her hand. With elbow support, Freddy touches the water in her hand. Ms. Prey guides his hand to his head, and after he touches his hair, she massages the water into his hair. Freddy's love of massage is the motivation for this routine.
Okay. Look here. Let's look at your wild hair. Look at your wild hair.
Ms. Prey holds the SLK mirror for Freddy. He attends to his reflection for just a second. She taps a brush on the table, and Freddy eventually places his hand on the handle.
You want to brush that wild hair?
Using hand under wrist support, she guides his hand and the brush to his head, and then she brushes his hair.
We'll clean up, but look. See, look at your handsome hair.
Freddy looks in the mirror for a second.
Okay. Look, let's put our water away.
With arm support, Freddy drops each item into the box. He demonstrates improved grasping skills.
Good job. We're going to put our brush away. You ready? In the bucket. Good job. Good job. And you want to tell me? What do you want to do? Use your words. Use your words, sweetie.
March. Hair routine. Exploration with emerging function. Freddy's functional level goal is to demonstrate understanding of the function of 4 objects by initiating the action associated with their typical use. Freddy selects his hair brushing routine on his iPad, registered trademark.
Brush.
Good job. Thank you. Let's brush your hair.
Freddy reaches into his routine box and retrieves the water bottle.
There's our water.
Freddy holds the bottle while Miss Prey sprays the water.
You want to feel it? Yeah, that's your water. Let's put it in your hand. Let's put some water in your hand.
With assistance, Freddy turns his hand over to receive the water. With elbow support, Freddy briefly touches his hair, so Ms. Prey begins the head massage.
Oh, you're almost there. There you go. Okay. Let's look at your hair. Look at your wild hair.
Freddy looks in the SLK mirror and then to his teacher for confirmation.
That's pretty funny, huh? You want to brush? Let's brush it. Let's brush it.
Freddy grasps the brush, and with light elbow support, he hands it to Ms. Prey, who begins to brush his hair.
There you go. Do you want more? Do you want more brush? You have to tell me.
Freddy grasps the brush to indicate he wants more brushing. With prompting, he gives the brush to Ms. Prey.
Bring it to me. Bring it to me. Almost. Thank you.
Ms. Prey brushes his hair again.
Anything? Okay. Let's look at your handsome hair. Look at you.
Freddy looks in the mirror and to his teacher.
Look right there. You look so handsome. Can you help me clean up? We're finished. Let's clean up.
Freddy picks up the brush and places it in the box.
Got it?
Freddy drops the water bottle in the box.
Almost. Good job.
April. Hair routine. Function level. Freddy pulls the bottle of water from the box. Ms. Prey sprays the water in her hand, and Freddy touches it. Freddy grasps the bottle and looks at it. He readily opens his hand to receive water. With elbow support, Freddy touches his hand to his head, and they massage his head together.
Okay, you have to reach up. Come on. You're almost there. Come on. There you go. Nice rubbing, Freddy. Good job. Do you want more? You can get it.
Freddy touches the bottle of water and then opens his hand independently.
Oh, I like the way you opened your hand.
With elbow support, Freddy touches his hand to his head, and Ms. Prey begins the head massage. Ms. Prey presents the routine box, and with support, Freddy pulls out a new small handheld mirror. She taps the mirror.
Look, right there. Look at that wild hair.
Freddy looks in the mirror for a second, and then shakes his head.
No, you want to fix it? Let's get a brush. Let's get a brush.
Freddy demonstrates understanding by bringing the brush to his hair. Ms. Prey then brushes his hair.
Let's turn your brush. Okay.
Ms. Prey presents the brush again, and Freddy grasps it and initiates movement to bring it up. She helps him complete the movement by using elbow and wrist support.
Almost there. Let's turn it a little bit. Let's turn it a little. There you go. Look at you.
Freddy makes one complete brush stroke independently. Once again, Freddy holds the small mirror with assistance, and this time he takes a good look at himself.
Let's look at your handsome. Look at you. Look how handsome you are. Look at you. Can you help me clean up?
Freddy drops the mirror into the box. Freddy indicates that he knows what the bottle of water is for by touching it to his head before dropping it into the box. Again, Freddy indicates the meaning of the brush by touching it to his head and then dropping it in the box.
Are you brushing? Yeah, we brushed your hair and we're all finished. Good job, Freddy.
May. Hair routine, function level. Freddy selects his brush hair routine on his iPad.
Let's brush your hair. I know. Okay, we gotta spray the water.
Freddy now lifts the bottle of water out of the box without arm support. Freddy consistently holds his palm open to receive water. Freddy has difficulty bringing his open hand to his head. Watch the teacher conference chapter to learn why. He makes it with a little assistance. He enjoys his head massage. Freddy pulls the mirror from the box independently and looks at his wild hair. Ms. Prey presents and turns on a hairdryer.
Would you like to dry your hair?
Freddy looks to his teacher for confirmation and then picks up the dryer. Ms. Prey helps Freddy hold the hairdryer straight, but he keeps a good grip on it. She places the dryer back on the table.
Would you like to dry your hair?
Freddy picks it up immediately. As you can see, Freddy enjoys drying his hair and waves his free arm up and around to the sound and feel of the hairdryer.
Okay, you got it?
Freddy completes his hair routine with brushing his hair and
Hair.
looking at his handsome hair. He is now an expert at cleanup. In goes the mirror.
Ready? We need to put our brush in the box.
In goes the brush.
Good job. We need to put our water in the box. Got it?
In goes the bottle of water.
In the box. Nice.
And, with a little hesitation, because the hairdryer is Freddy's favorite, he places it in the box.
Get it. You tell me. I know. This one's your favorite, isn't it? Can you put it in the box? Nice job.
All finished. May. Teacher conference. Ms. Prey meets with Freddy's occupational therapist, Ms. Hazelwood, while Freddy enjoys his snack.
Sherry, I'm noticing that when I spray the water in his hand, he's not able to lift his arm as high as he was before. And I wasn't sure what was going on with the...
Well, what I noticed is Freddy is starting to learn to accommodate his hand by turning his wrist so that he can have it in the right placement to put water on his head or to blow with the blow dryer or to brush. And he's starting to learn that motor pattern or develop that motor pattern on his own. He's learning to motor plan.
Okay.
And so I think that he has a difficult time lifting his hand with his wrist rotated because that's a new pattern for him. He's used to doing it with his hand turned over. So I would just say when he hasn't rotated his hand, his wrist to accommodate with his hand, allow him to try to lift it on his own like he was doing.
Okay.
But if you see that he's turned his hand over, then just go ahead and give him a little assistance like you were doing.
Okay. And just stay with from the elbow?
From the elbow, or I've also noticed you just do it from his humerus.
Okay.
Both are effective.
Okay, great.
I'm so proud of you, Freddy. You're doing such a fabulous job.
Literacy. Freddy's SLK hair routine becomes a sandbox story and book. Freddy builds a box story. Freddy and Ms. Prey sit with 4 story boxes and a box filled with the routine objects. Freddy places the bottle of water in the first box, as Ms. Prey says, Freddy sprays water in his hand. Ms. Prey says, Freddy rubs his hair, which he does. Next, Freddy places the mirror in the second box, as Ms. Prey says, Freddy looks at his wild hair. Next, Freddy places the hairbrush in the third box, as Ms. Prey says, Freddy brushes his wild hair. Last, Freddy places a second identical mirror in the fourth box, as Ms. Prey says, Freddy looks at his handsome hair. Freddy and Ms. Prey prepare to read a book titled Freddy's Hair, as they empty each story box. Freddy removes the bottle from the first box, as Ms. Prey reads page 1. Freddy looks at his bottle and the picture of a similar spray bottle in the book. They turn the page, and Ms. Prey reads page 2 about rubbing his hair. Freddy sees his hand and the photograph of a child's open palm on the page. As Ms. Prey reads page 3 about Freddy's wild hair, they look at the mirror from the box story and the picture of the mirror in the book. Freddy and Ms. Prey compare, side by side, the brush and the picture of a similar brush in the book as they read page 4. While Ms. Prey reads about Freddy's handsome hair on page 5, he compares the second mirror to the picture of a mirror in the book. As the last object is placed in the finished box, Ms. Prey reads, Freddy cleans up, while he looks at the picture of a similar box. Ms. Prey reads the last page of the book, which says, The End. Teacher and student look at each other with a sense of accomplishment. Team Freddy. The Sensory Learning Kit. Acknowledgements. Freddy. Wendy Prey, classroom teacher. Angela Campbell, Related Services Lead and Liaison to Active Learning Program. Tiffany Cavalier, Speech-Language Pathologist. Allison Clark, Physical Therapist. Sherry Hazelwood, Occupational Therapist. Suzanne Hunt, Paraprofessional. Viana Martinez, Paraprofessional. Videography by Ward B. Fasold. Photography by Allison Clark. Special thanks to Stacy Chambers, teacher of students with visual impairments. Millie Smith, TVI consultant. Coppell Independent School District, Texas. APH, Louisville, Kentucky. www.aph.org. APH staff. Tristan Pierce, project leader. Anthony D. Jones, graphic design manager. Matt Pope, graphic designer. Ricky Irvine and Jill Fox, narrators.
Shaped as an open book, the APH fountain reads in print and braille, Building Independence since 1858. The End.